Hey everyone, welcome to my first ever attempt at the Go Battle League system. It was implemented this morning. I got in one sort of round of 5 battles, so I thought I'd bring it to you guys and see how we do. We've got a bunch of different teams, some pretty weak teams, a couple of really good teams actually. So yeah, we'll delve into the battles, and as you saw there, I got possibly one of the worst leads for Bastiaan, apart from a fighter. So we get out of there, and oddly enough, the opponent doesn't really switch until there. So I'm not quite sure why he'd kill and then switch lock himself. But I mean, great for me, right? Because Bastiaan's going to farm down this Altaria, no dramas whatsoever, and we aren't switch locked. So that's another thing to consider. So we can switch straight in, and he'll probably still have at least 30 seconds on his timer. So we're going to throw the Stone Edge, burn that shield, last shield's down, and we'll switch in to catch that Mud Bomb on our Venusaur, which is great. So this is pretty much a wrap. I mean, depending on what he's got in the back, he could sweep everything. And it's not too bad of a pick actually. I really wasn't expecting to see this little guy. So Fortress will actually trouble a lot of my team. So obviously Bastiaan's going to die from an earthquake. So he probably should have gone for the farm here and saved up all that energy. So he's kind of wasted all of his energy there. And for some reason, I'm not throwing the flamethrower. Oh, that's right, because he's got that Whiscash in the back. So can't waste all of our energy. So we're going for the farm, and he's recognised that, switched out, but it doesn't matter. It's too late. So cool. That was our first battle we won, and then the next battle we're up against Mimikyu, whatever that was, and we get another awful lead straight into a Raichu with our Altaria. So we switched that out for Venusaur. We don't really actually have a Raichu counter in this team, but still better than just watching our Altaria die. So forced to use our first shield here, and we'll see if he uses his last shield, and he doesn't. Lets the Raichu go down. So out comes Registeel. So, not great for my team, because we can see here I do have Azumarill, Altaria, and Venusaur. Now Venusaur's gone. I'm sitting there looking, what's the best, what's the worst, and I really don't know where I'm going to go with this. So Dragon Pulse does nothing, and he comes out and fires off a Hyper Beam. So I think it's only got Hyper Beam. I mean, Flash Cannon's probably the more damage efficient move. So I think he's just got Hyper Beam on this, which takes quite a while to charge up. So we're actually able to take down, and Electrode's left. So we've got, sorry, I just got to scratch my foot. We've got Electrode versus Azumarill. But we do have a shield in the back. So that's probably going to be in our favor. Obviously Ice Beam's not going to do too much. But Player Off takes about half the health down, so that's good. So we actually end up winning this one. So 2 Electrics and a Registeel versus Azumarill, Venusaur, and Altaria, and we actually get the win. So that was quite cool. So third match we lead, and another terrible lead. Now we can win this if we actually use our shields, right? But I wasn't predicting Thunderbolt to go quite that much, so I'm like, oh well, I just wasted one Pokemon essentially. So now I'm going to do this battle with 2. Fortunately, I've got a fairly hard counter here in Whiscash. He could probably actually take that Thunderbolt, maybe even take 2. But Mob Bomb's not going to do a heap. It's not as effective as I'd like it to be. So we're going to eat this Thunderbolt, and we'll sort of gauge how much damage it does. It's a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So we charge up a little bit extra, and we'll throw the Mud Bomb for the KO. Chooses not to shield, and out comes Rhyhorn. Now Rhyhorn is going to have a hard time against Whiscash. So burnt that last shield, throw another Mud Bomb, and you'll see how much. Rhyhorn's just not quite up there for the PvP stakes. So obviously there's a Bulldoze, it's going to almost KO us, so we have to shield, and we're essentially just hoping that we can move it down, which we can, and Tauros in the back. So Wasn't actually sure if Bulldoze or Heavy Slam would do more, but I was pretty confident that we'd be able to get it down. Alright, moving into the fourth battle. So each time I didn't want to just run the same 5. I thought it got a bit boring. I mean, if I come up against somebody who's got full meta, a really good player, yeah, I might lose, but that's alright. But as you can see here, we've got a Lapras with Surf against the Azumarill. And we eat the first Surf, and we get off that player off. So he switches out into a Zapdos. So we're going to throw this Ice Beam, and then I think I'm going to switch into Quagsire. Obviously, we're up shields. Quagsire, once shields are down, he's a beast. He really, really is solid. So we take that first Thunderbolt. Does a reasonable amount of damage, but the Mud Shots are just so fast to generate that energy. So now he's got shields down. We're hopefully going to get a couple of extra hits in here and then throw the Stone Edge. And a nice switch into Lapras, except Stone Edge is going to kill it. And so back into the Zapdos to hopefully get a little bit more energy up, but you just can't beat this Quag. He's too dominant. And so out comes Santler at the end, and we're like, oh, let's go for the Earthquake. Earthquake should KO. And yeah, it does, so... didn't even use the Venusaur in that match. Azumarill and Quag getting the job done. So yeah, I really encourage you guys just to give it a try. Some of the rewards are really good. Like I got 5 charge TMs and I'm really low on charge TMs, so that was a massive bonus for me. Alright, so this matchup we get Latios, yes, against our Azumarill. So we're actually charged up and then throwing the Ice Beam. Obviously Ice Beam is going to be more effective. It's Dragon type, right? Dragon Psychic. So we're just going to keep throwing these Ice Beams, burning the shields, or if it doesn't, it's going to take a lot of damage. Expecting a switch out to come at some point. And there it is. So just as we hit the Ice Beam, but he brings something else in that's going to take a heap of damage from Ice Beam. So I was quite surprised at that. So we pop in Bronzong because we're like, oh yeah, Bronzong, yeah, he's pretty tough guy. I actually went really well on a couple of battles I used him for. So yeah, Heavy Slam takes that down, and then Infernape in the back. So yeah, we're going to be taking extra damage from fighting and fire moves, but that confusion damage just took him down and got the win. So yeah, awesome. It was pretty interesting to try out. I don't think it's going to come close to replacing Silph League Arena. I really think that's where your hardcore PvPers are really going to shine. They're all going to do this Go Battle League as well, but yeah, you get to see here. Yeah, so 5 wins. It's great. But yeah, Silph Arena, it's definitely not out. It's still going to be the dominant mode for PvPers. And yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone in the Rose Cup. So thanks guys, take it easy, watch some of my Rose Cup videos, and I'll see you.